What we've got here, guys, is the answer to, I think, a lot of people's portable gaming problems, in this day and age especially, in that you can't carry just that many devices with you around all day long in your pocket. You got your cell phone, you got a Game Boy, you got a DS, you got a PSP, whatever you want to bring along with you. And for a lot of people, it's just too cumbersome, myself included, to start dragging all these things to all these places, whether it be on vacation, trips, short trips, going to work, for a lunch break kind of thing, just sitting on the train, on the bus, whatever. It's much easier if you've got something that's compact, something small that you can just grab and go, which is kind of the solution that they have here with the Impulse controller. I got this thing in a buy on Woot. Pretty good purchase, I felt. Picked up a bunch of them for friends and family. Pretty handy device so far. As you can see, it's about yay big, real small in my hands. Has a typical layout here for what you'd see on a game controller. You got your 4 face buttons in a Super NES, or if you're millennial, a PlayStation layout here with a D-pad. You've got the pairing button here, and on the back you've got 2 shoulder buttons. Not going to be doing a lot of heavy gaming with this thing, but if you're playing on your smartphone or tablet, you're probably not going to be doing that anyways. It's got a little key ring here on the attachment side of it. Powers and charges with USB. Comes with this little sleeve. At first glance, it's just a plastic sleeve that you would use to cover up the controller, but it doubles in kind of a little handy way as a stand for your device, for your smartphone. I've got a Galaxy Note 4 here, which is probably a little bigger and a little thicker. It's got the wireless attachment, or wireless charging attachment on the back, so it makes the case of it just that much thicker, but it's probably a little more than what they were anticipating people using with this thing. So I've got my home screen here, and I just want to show you how you game with it. Obviously, there's a lot of games for Android. A lot of games now have good controller support, whereas before it was kind of spotty. Now there's so many Bluetooth, so many wireless controller options out there that Android has made it native for gamepad support, and the developers have really taken advantage of that. As you can see, we've obviously got some emulators here. Anybody that knows how to put an emulator on your phone knows how to get ROMs. I'm not going to tell you where to get ROMs at. Suffice to say, if you've got a head on your shoulders and know how to use Google, and you've downloaded emulators to your phone, getting the ROMs themselves should be no big deal. What I'm going to do is pair the controller, and you hit this button here, it starts blinking. You hit this button on the back, and it will pair the controller. As you see on the top left corner of the phone, it says that there is a keyboard, or an Android keyboard, attached. We're going to go into one of these games here. We have the load game function, and we'll just try Aladdin. I was playing Aladdin, and we're going to restart the game because that's just where that was. The infamous Capcom boot up sound. Okay, as you can see here, playing with the D-pad, just like using the controller, we're going to go ahead and start the game. Alright, I think that's enough demonstration for that. Obviously, as you can see, there is no option for a start and select button, so some of the on-screen keys in certain apps still have to be used. The phone touchscreen works just the same as it normally does on any other devices. Anybody can use an emulator. We want to see how it works, obviously, on some other games, so I'm going to boot up Chinatown Wars here and show you how good the controller works here. Again, some of the stuff you have to have, you still got to use the phone touchscreen for. It's a little dark so you can't see here, but obviously my little Grand Theft Auto character is running around using the D-pad flawlessly. All the buttons work as normal. Walk right up to a car, jump in, and away we go. Pretty short Grand Theft Auto career I had there. We're going to back out of the game. Close out some of those. Close out some of the apps on there. Just back those all out. So yeah, that is essentially how well the controller works. Overall, it's a little package deal. I think it's pretty good. I've got a bunch of different emulators on here, a bunch of different games. A game that I was really disappointed did not have any controller support was Madden Mobile. Was honestly looking forward to being able to use the controller and playing some football on the go, but for whatever reason, Electronic Arts has not seen fit to go ahead and put any kind of controller support in there. Same rings true for just about every Bluetooth controller on the market. There's a lot of different things you can do with them. There's ones out there with options for thumbsticks, triggers, a more traditional PlayStation or Xbox type arrangement. And if you're really getting serious into it, some of these controllers have clips that you would attach to your smartphone to turn it into more of a portable gaming system, on the go. I honestly feel the graphics on a lot of these smartphones are on par or better than a lot of the portable systems that have come out in later years. The resolution is simply sharper. I'm a big fan of the 3DS, but the image smoothness, the graphic quality is in many ways superior on a device as simple as your smartphone. It's a device you carry in your pocket with you pretty much every day, so it just sort of makes sense to be able to use it to its full advantage, and devices like the Impulse controller here are exactly what help you get the most out of it. Something like this here that comes with it, the instruction guide, shows you that it's more than just a controller. I've seen it in the directions that says you're able to use it to use it as a key finder. Once you attach it to your key ring, you're able to use it to locate your keys from your phone. Pretty neat. And you can also use it as a media remote or as a presentation remote, but let's be serious here. Most people are going to use this thing to play games, which is exactly what I've been doing with it. I've even gone to the liberty of plugging my HDMI cable into the phone and booting up some of these emulators or games on the TV. I've played Asphalt on the TV, which honestly looks a lot better on the phone than it does blown up to 60 plus inches. But nonetheless, it's another option for you, especially if you're a fan of the older games, the classics. You can load it up with ROMs, legitimately of course, load it up with ROMs and take it on the go, bring an HDMI cable and bring your controller and have full screen, classic gaming wherever you need to go. So I think it's a neat little device. I think it's something that you should consider. I think for the money it's hard to beat, considering all the things you can do with it. Not good for some of the newer systems. Obviously, a lack of analog control makes it unsuitable for N64 games, unsuitable for later PlayStation and PlayStation 2 and other Xbox games. But if you're emulating or if you're just using Android games on it, it more than does the trick. It's something worth keeping with you in your pocket. A good little travel companion for you, and definitely brings the fun out. All right, thanks a lot.